My name is Deborah Anthony and I live in Beaver Bank, Nova Scotia, which is on the east coast of Canada. And I'm submitting this tape as a bereaved parent who experienced the loss of my daughter, Erin Margaret Anthony, on December 6, 1984. Erin died on December 6, 1984. After stepping off her school bus, she never made it to her destination. She was struck, run over, and killed by the school bus she had just exited. When I received the news of Erin's being involved in an accident, I instinctively and probably within 3 minutes knew that she was dead and actually verbalized those words to the person who had come to tell me about the accident. And my life, my husband's life, Erin's sister's life, and the lives of all extended family members changed in a heartbeat. And my experience has shown me that once that has changed, you never ever get it back, nor can you ever go back there. Everything as it was gone in an instant. We were thrown into what I would call unfamiliar terrain. And for me personally, my biggest challenge was not any longer being in charge of anything. And in going through the grief process, it took me years to recognize and accept that I had to basically recreate myself. I had to recreate myself, I had to recreate my life, and so did all of the other people involved, including family members and friends and extended relatives. So the grief process was certainly not a quick one. I would say it was 10 to 15 years. I was 10 for sure, a really good 10 years, getting to the point where I was able to restore what I call my joy of life and restoring happiness in my life, although I am a bereaved parent and always will be. Coping with the death of Erin taught me to live in the moment. That, and by that I mean that was really all I could manage, was one moment at a time, because you're no longer able to make what I would call healthy, functional decisions. You're just thrown into a role that you did not ask for, that you're not familiar with, and it's unlike anything I had ever experienced. I've brought 4 children into the world. I'm a polio survivor from a very young age, and the pain that I experienced in the loss of Erin, the other items that I mentioned, the pain associated with those, birthing children and having polio and surgeries, does not even compare to the depth of the pain I experienced in losing Erin. And that's because it's a reversal of nature. When a child dies, you are forced to reckon with something that you've always been told is not natural. So, we have children too, there are immortality, and it just creates a lot of devastation, reflection. It goes against everything we know. During the years after Erin died, there were many occasions when I needed to interact with other bereaved parents, whether that would be going to a funeral of one of their children or being involved in bereaved parents group meetings. And I always knew that I would take the experience that I was having and turn it into something positive. And in January of '06, I was inspired to create a book specifically for bereaved parents. And I will tell you that when I received my advance copy of my book, the message that came to me was this, that this was my last piece as it relates to Erin. This was my legacy to her. And the book is actually her legacy to the world. So in actual fact, on December 6, 1984, she didn't really die. Her life extended through to 2007, and she came full circle when 2,000 copies of my book arrived. The reason I know that to be true is this. I had never written anything in my life. I sat down to write my book. I had it written 13 hours later, over the span of 9 days, and I had 2,000 copies printed and published and in my hand within 6 months from when I first sat down to write it. So I knew it had been fermenting for years, and I knew I was supposed to do it. I had 3 goals in mind in writing the book. One was to share my story. One was to provide practical journaling exercises for bereaved parents to support them in their journey in a caring and compassionate way, and to help speed up the grief process, because what I learned from my experience in sharing that information with others, I know it will help to move them ahead and perhaps not stay stuck so long. So my book, and Erin's book to you, is called Recapturing the Joy, a journal for bereaved parents. And what it includes is what goes on inside the home of a bereaved family, inside the 4 walls after everyone else has left and gone back to life. And it talks about the things that really do not get talked about in public, the things we like to keep secret, but they are the things that create the most chaos and conflict. So, as I have on the back of the book, what I have is this: recapturing the joy for a bereaved parent is a painfully difficult and lengthy journey. Once completed, however, it is a declaration of who you are. You will have, as some may say, achieved the impossible. I believe it is my job to bring joy to sadness. Therefore, my goal is to have Recapturing the Joy, a journal for bereaved parents, accessed to all bereaved parents worldwide.